XPL Plasma, a very underrated project we could see on screen here, guys, and I'm telling you, this thing could be a massive winner. Now, I'm gonna dive into it and dive deeper in this video, but always remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is all entertainment purposes only, okay? So, we spoke about XPL on the channel around this 10-cent level multiple times, so many times I'm losing count, because the market is not going to make the gains easy anymore unless you try to trade the meme coins, pump fund, etc. Okay, I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to be patient and make the gains one step at a time. I don't need to become a millionaire instantly. I can work my way up. Okay, so XPL, in my opinion, could be a massive competitor to XRP. You see how massive XRP is and how it went to 100 to 200 bill market cap at its all-time high. XPL could make a massive move like that long term, okay? Why is that? This project is focused on stablecoin growth and adoption. So we spoke about it in this range, under 10 cents, in the private and on the Patreon many times, under 10 cents. If you just take a look at my channel, I normally do updates in videos, and I make them unlisted for patrons to see, and then I make them public days later to YouTube, okay? It fell below that 9-cent level and fell all the way down to this 6-cent level at a point in time. You could see here, it fell to 6-7 cent, and I made sure I said, you know, in the Patreon, all over every video, anything under 10 cents, in my opinion, is a great entry. Even at 10 cent now, it hasn't had its run yet. You didn't miss anything here, and the upside could be massive, okay? I think not just a return reclaim of the all-time highs possible for XPL, which is $1.66, right? $1.66. I don't think that alone is possible here. I think it could go even higher than that on a long enough time horizon. It's possible, because why? There's not many ways to get exposure to stablecoin growth and adoption. I've laid it out in my thesis many times. I showed you guys charts that showed how stablecoin growth keeps going up. Even the biggest bankers made their own stablecoin recently, but we don't have much ways to get exposure. Maybe Circle stock is a way to get exposure. I think XPL is a way to get exposure, but you have to manage your risk here, because guess what? This project is a lot weaker in the price action compared to other projects we spoke about, right? So this is why I say never invest more than you're willing to lose in any project. But if you, for example, just get, you know, even just $100 invested here, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone to overinvest in any project, right? Even just 1,000 XPL tokens, that could become $1,000 in the future to maybe even $5,000 to $10,000. It can, right? There's a possibility of that, as long as the project delivers on their use case, and as long as the project pulls off what I think it could actually do for the use case that it has, and make a massive run like XRP did. This is a layer 1 project as well, and I think, you know, it's showing strength. It's starting to show a bit more strength here. It's up 12% in the past 24 hours, as we could see here from this 8-6 cent level. And I recently made a video about it, you know, in a long form video where I talked about multiple other projects. This was on my list as well, and I think this thing could do extremely well in the future, okay? If we take a look at X here, you'll see that they recently did their Plasma 1 episode update, right? Episode 2, where they go through the team. You go through the team and you see what they're building, how they're building. It's a great video to watch. You know, you see that there's legitimate people here, legitimate company, legitimate builders and developers that are trying to accomplish something great. Now, is it going to be guaranteed? No, it's not. This is crypto. 90% of people lose money in crypto. You know, I've lost so much gains in crypto. Only 10% are successful. So we have to do our best to be as strategic as possible to be in that 10%, right? And that's why I'm doing my best to, you know, when I talk about projects, I'm trying to bring the best I can. I'm doing my best to avoid, you know, anything that is way too high in the risk curve. Only like 1 or 2 I'd go high risk curve, right? And even so, it still have a thesis behind it, or an idea, narrative, if you will, right? So I think XPL here is going to, in my opinion, absolutely crush it here. You can see the team is they have their office, their building here. But I do think this is one of the projects you pay attention to. All right, guys. But please, as always, all right, listening, if you're listening now, always manage your risk, okay? Manage your risk, please, all right? So we have from Altcoin Sherpa, a TA, someone that does TA that I respect heavily here, says coins like XPL have been chopping around for months. Always depends on what Bitcoin does, but still not a bad area to DCA at this level. You could see a few X from here, a few X's multipliers from here in good conditions. I completely agree with that. I could see, but like I said, I still think this project will be a big winner, but we'll see, okay? Even so, you get a few X's, few multipliers, you de-risk your initial investment and take some profits off the top with that, and then hold the rest in for, you know, those big upside moves that I'll be looking for, right? So from another TA person here, you see Plasma might print, which is a 2x move to that 20-cent level. And a 2x in these conditions is great, okay? 2x, 5x, 2x, 5x to 10x, great in these conditions, you know? So pay attention to that, guys. And from Night here, another move up for XPL from 10 cents to 25 cents to 40 cents. I think, like I said, a move back to the high, very realistic, very possible. I would not rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out at all for XPL to move back to the high and then even make new highs. It's going to be easy. Is it going to be an easy hold to stay in the project as it, you know, as it chops along? Is it going to be easy? I don't think so. But you have to be patient in this space, man. Patience is key. Patience gets you paid. This is one of the worst market conditions I've been a part of, even though I've just been in one full cycle. This is some of the worst market conditions I've been a part of. I'm not ashamed to say that, and I'm doing my best to navigate it, right? So you have to be as strategic as possible, right? So as we can see here, this is a long ride up. XPL has gone through the hardest part. It's been in a relentless downtrend, down 93% from the highs. This isn't a confirmation, but the chart does have room for powerful expansion. And as we can see on the chart here, as you can see, this massive breakdown could lead to a massive breakout in the future. But you're gonna have to, again, exercise patience here, because holding through it's not gonna just be a straight line up. There's gonna be pullbacks along the way. But as far as an L1 and their use case, as long as they can deliver what they're building, I think the upside for this could be great, okay? Again, it's not guaranteed. It's not. This is crypto, but it could be massive upside. I think a $10 XPL, which would be 100x, 10x to 100x in the long term, possible. I think it pulls a XRP. I think this is the XRP. This is one of the projects that could replicate the XRP move in 2026, what XRP did in 2018 or 2017, that cycle, right? 2018, 2017 to 2021 cycle. It's gonna be patience though. And you never know, something could go wrong. But just again, never invest more than you're willing to lose. Manage your risk here. But I think this is going to be a big winner, okay? As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Join the Patreon private Discord. Link to that is in the description. That's the first link in the description. You can see my recent video or this video you're watching now. It's the first link. You click that, it takes you to the Patreon. We have 96 members in the Patreon. It's only $5 a month to join. You get early access to all this content before anyone else. You get exclusive alpha projects. I don't call them often, but when I do my best to present projects that I have high confidence in that they will do well. And you also get in the private Discord access. We have a group of people, everyone working together, talking, giving their own insights. I think that's a great way to get edge in the space where you're sharing ideas with others, guys. And I think it's a great family that we're building here, great community. and we're gonna continue to take over and do our best and crush it, man. So as always, thank you all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember to give praise and glory to the Lord God Jesus. Thank God for everything. Without him, we're nothing, guys. Honestly, man. Gotta keep pushing with God first, and everything else falls into place. And I'll catch you in the next one.